We just got back from the second annual Gulf Coast Homesteaders Meetup. This is the second time that the Gulf Coast homesteaders in our area got together to put on a meetup. It was put together by Hidden Oaks Homestead and Dusty Goat Homestead. They worked together to put this event on, and they had all year to do it. And it was probably triple, or if not quadruple, the attendance that it was for the first year. And really, they did a phenomenal job putting this together. I was blown away at how well everything flowed, how everybody was set up. The guests that we have were just phenomenal. All the stage presence. So there was a big barn. We had some big name speakers that were here for the event. David the Good, which is now local to the Gulf Coast area. Arms Family Homestead flew in, and the Stivers came down from Kentucky. And Cog Hill, which is also not that far away, they're up in the Montgomery area. They came down last year. So they came down again this year, and we got to speak with them again. We really had a good time. My first time meeting Arms Family Homestead, and I really like those guys. They're really genuine. They have a really good channel, and they put out some good quality information on their channel also. Hidden Oaks Homestead has a special past with Daniel Arms of the Arms Family Homestead, and so they were able to get them to come down for the event, which he's been here in the past, but not for our event. And I tell you what, meeting those guys, all the speakers that they had lined up, we had a wonderful time. Some of the other speakers that they had lined up, well, get this guys, there was one new guy that had just started getting into homesteading just 1 year ago, and he's already on stage. And that's the Head Family Homestead. Check him out. He was actually did a really good job with his speaking event. Some of the other speakers that they had on stage we invited down, or that was invited down, was the Stivers. So they came down from Kentucky. I'm going to refer to my phone here so I can make sure I don't miss any of the big speakers. Pork Rind. Pork Rind reached out to us. I keep saying us. Pork Rind reached out to the organizers and asked if he could come down and be a part of the event. And tell you what a great guy. He has a wealth of knowledge. If you want to know anything there is to know about raising pigs and processing pork, he is a go-to guy. And he hung out a lot of the time with Perry Hill Farms, which also is a huge resource for our area for raising up pigs and processing pork. And they've got a great YouTube channel. They are a wealth of knowledge, and we are just so blessed to have all these people that are in our area, and we can refer to each one another in a different specialty. And that's one of the reasons that I like being a part of this group that we have going on here. Perry Hill Farms put together that pig processing, and that was a specific workshop that you could go to, and they had an entire side of pork on the table, and he spent numerous amount of times discussing all the different pork, all the ins and out of pork and raising pork, processing pork. And if they do that class again next year and you're thinking about coming down, take the workshops, take the classes. There's a wealth of knowledge that is put out. Now, myself and Michelle put together a poultry processing workshop. And so we brought on two chickens each day, 2 chickens, and then the second day was 1 chicken and 1 turkey. And we showed you how to eviscerate and use the bird for a roaster. And then we also turned around and broke it down into cuts of meat, how to part out your breast, your tenderloins, your thighs, and your legs, and also your wings. And also discussed raising the birds' carcasses. So at the end of each one of our workshops that we had, we actually cooked up the meat, which was breast chickens. And we let the audience have a sample of the breast chicken that we processed that day.
It's more of a steak feel.
That's what everybody's saying.
Yeah. It's definitely, it's like chewing on a steak, but
That's
chicken.
what everybody's saying.
Yeah,
That's
it's
so
delicious.
crazy. Okay. All right.
Definitely good moist flavors.
Okay. You like it? Mm-hmm. Little kids like chicken.
It has a kind of a crunchy flavor.
Mm-hmm.
And it's tender in the inside.
Okay. That's good. Thank you. Do you mind,
What do you say?
how do you like it?
It was good.
It's good?
It was spicy but good.
Okay.
And
Yeah.
it was chewy.
And chewy. Yep, kind of like a steak. Yeah? Okay.
It was rich and it was just, I don't know, it was just really good.
Okay, perfect.
Did everybody get a sample?
And what was your overall, what do y'all think about the breast?
Way better.
Yeah, it was amazing.
Okay.
A lot more flavorful.
I wasn't sure if I was going to be able to notice the flavor of the breast compared to grilling out.
It has the texture of like steak, but then it almost has like a bacon kind of flavor to it.
Oh, you think so?
Yeah.
May have been also the seasoning and the way
Yeah,
it
the
was cooked
seasoning
too.
maybe, but like the way that the fats break down reminded
Okay.
me of bacon. I don't know.
So you think the breast is going to be something you
Oh
think
yeah.
about in the future?
I already texted my husband. I'm like, we're getting some breast.
And we had a good turnout. We had nothing but good responses. And I really enjoyed doing that workshop, and I know Michelle did too. And it really gave me a lot of energy, and those are the reasons we come and volunteer to do this. We didn't make any profit off of this. None of the speakers made any profit. It was all just put together to train, to educate the community on how to grow your own food and be just a little bit more self-sufficient than you were whenever you came here, and also inspiring some people. I also had one guy that was in my class, said he was originally from Long Island, New York, and he was kind of on the fence of processing poultry. And he said after the class, he is definitely do it. He's no longer concerned about it. We also showed that when you're processing the poultry, there's a way to do it that you're not just cutting the head off of the birds and they're flopping around and blood's splattering anyway. It's calm, it's peaceful, the birds aren't flopping all out of control, and it's really a controlled environment, and you can tell that the birds aren't suffering as they pass. And that's the proper way to do it, and I'm glad that we were able to educate the audience on proper ways of processing poultry. And there's another couple that came all the way down from Saskatoon, Canada. They weren't just in the area, they bought tickets and came down just for this event. And I subscribe to their channel, and I can't remember I'm gonna put it in the description what their channel is, and go give them all the likes and subscribes, you know, all the normal stuff. And they seem to be really nice people. Alderman Farms was there, and they hosted a bread baking workshop. They're also kind of local to our area. I believe they're over in Mississippi. I've been knowing about them for several years, and they did a wonderful job with their workshop, and they had a captive audience that was just hanging on every word that was said in that workshop. And I hate to toot the own horns here, but when you can get to the local homestead events, you can get way more knowledge than some of the bigger ones. Not saying that the big ones aren't bad, but it's easier to get hands-on knowledge and right up front. I didn't have my audience on stage. I invited them to come down, get right to the processing table, feel the joints where we're going to cut the poultry. I want to get them in there and drive away any fear that they've got of processing their own poultry. And that's one of the things I liked about this gathering and this setting that we have. And Santa Rosa County Fairgrounds, and it was just off the interstate. If you're coming east or west on Interstate 10, it's just a little drop right off the interstate. Easy access in and out, lots of surrounding restaurants, places to eat, places to stay. Now, after each one of our workshops, us as the people who were participating, we all got together for dinner afterwards, and we kind of hung out and got to know each other, and we got to meet some really cool new channels that I've never heard of. But I can tell you what, I met some wonderful people. Michelle did too. And we're going to reach out and we're going to try to do more with those channels to try to build the community a little bit better. And all in all, this was just a fantastic event, and I was honored to even be asked to be a part of it. And I can tell you what, I'm just so glad to be a part of this community. And thank you to the organizers, Dusty Goat Homestead, Hidden Oaks Homestead, for inviting Michelle and I out to be a part of your event. We really enjoyed it. Now, we have an upcoming event, and I'm going to go ahead and plug it. Jessica at Keepers of the Old Ways, you'll find her on Facebook, will be having a spring event the last of March and the 1st of April. And we invite you to come out and check out that event also. Now, Jessica was there participating in this also, and she hosted a class. She hosted a goat class, and she put out a wealth of knowledge. She had handouts, she had a huge audience, and that wasn't a paid-for shop. You could just go sit in on that shop, and she covered everything there is to know about goats. Matter of fact, spoiler alert, we're going to be getting goats here soon. So we sat in on the class also to try to pick up some knowledge. We also had Jordan and Josh from Aussie Working Homestead. Now they have some Australian Shepherds that is the backbone of what their YouTube channel is about. They came down from North Carolina, and they were also a part of this event, and they were speakers. They were also speakers at the HOA event up in Virginia, and they are a huge inspiration because they're a nice young couple. They're about to have their first child, and I really enjoy what they're doing, and they're just getting right into the homesteading community, and they're sharing their knowledge, and they're absorbing knowledge and trading and networking also. And hats off to that couple. Mayhem Farm was also one of the people that was on stage holding a talk, and I love talking with Greg. He is just a wealth of knowledge talking about herbs and natural medicines, and he also had a booth, and he was selling some of his product there, and I really enjoy spending time with Greg and his wife. Now, while we were at dinner, we sat across the table from Tracy at Just Dig It Farms, and we really connected on the fruit tree level. She's a fruit person, I'm a fruit person. Michelle was right in there, and we just had a great time sitting there getting to know them. I had never even knew that her channel existed. And check her out, Just Dig It Farms. She's got a beautiful garden. And we're going to be also spending more time networking with her also, and probably going to do some visits. There were other channels that were present there that I just did not have time to get around and speak to everybody and all the vendors. But everybody that I spoke to, I just had a blast. Everybody else that was there was having a blast. Come check out this event. Any of the homesteading events, we have always had a great time with. If you have an interest in homesteading and you're not already doing something, come get involved in one of these groups and get started with growing something, whether it's animals or plants. But go ahead, we highly encourage you to go ahead and get started. Hope you enjoyed the video. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button, the like button if you enjoyed the video. Follow us along for future videos. Don't forget, keep growing, keep building, and always keep adventuring. And together, we're Flemington Famous. We'll see you next time.